Hey, thanks so much for tuning in to the Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth. Today is Talk About It Tuesday. We're going through the book of Ruth and we're finishing up this week on chapter 4, the last chapter of the book. Yesterday we talked about how Boaz, he's on a mission. His mission is to take care of Ruth. And we talked about our church's mission. I talked about encourage that, hey, we all have a mission. That's to further the kingdom of God, to represent him. If you're a Christ follower, you are his ambassador. And so let's represent him well. What are areas in your life? How has God gifted you? We all have a platform. We all have influence. And that is our mission. Hopefully you were encouraged yesterday. Now, today we're going to talk about how he has now gone to this closer relative, this guardian redeemer, and he asked the question, will you redeem it? And in the context of this property. And this is how he responds, this closer relative. He says, I will redeem it. Now, Boaz, in regards to the question, was slowly the property. In verse 5, it says, Then Boaz said, on the day that you buy the land from Naomi. So now he was just requiring the land. Now he follows it up and he says, you need, in order to maintain the name of the dead of this property, you also will require Ruth, the Moabite. And now this is how, so this was information he didn't know, he didn't realize. And this is now how he responds to that question. At this, the guardian redeemer said, then I cannot redeem it because I might endanger my own estate. You redeem it yourself. I cannot do it. This was exciting news for Boaz because he wanted to redeem Ruth himself anyways. But I want us to think about that closer relative, that guardian redeemer who was very selfish in this context. And he's nameless. It's just this guardian redeemer. And this person just thought about his own estate. Well, if I'm going to acquire Ruth, well, that's going to change my life. Now, I can't do that. You do it yourself. I'm not willing to sacrifice. There's times that we can act like that as well. We can be very selfish. We can be so focused on our own interest and not consider others, not willing to sacrifice for the sake of other people. And I want to encourage you to talk it over with somebody today. Maybe somebody that's close to you. Maybe that knows you kind of inside and out. It might be a spouse. It may be a family member, mom or dad, a close relative, a neighbor, somebody who knows you. And I know it's a little bit vulnerable, but ask them, go to them and ask them, are there areas in my life that you see that I'm not willing to sacrifice? Are there certain times where I'm not considering others, where I'm just focusing on myself? And then ask those questions and then just sit and listen. Don't get defensive. Don't justify your response or your actions. Just sit and listen, because you know what? There are other people in our lives that see things different than we do. So go to a trusted person today and ask them, are there areas in my life that I need to work on to consider other people, like Boaz considered Ruth? Hey, thanks so much for tuning in today. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for the Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth.